What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If that is something you're into, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer the question in the comments below. Did you find yourself upset with me when I ranked Oklahoma at number 10? If you did, you are not alone, and I'm going to address why I ranked Oklahoma at number 10 in the preseason 136, for which you can read at foxsports.com. And it has been a very popular piece. It is the most popular piece that I write every single year, and that is on top of each top 25 that I write at Fox Sports tends to lead coverage, which I'm excited about, which means that I'm in tune with you and that you are valuing my opinion on those things. So I also want to take an opportunity to respond to some of your questions about where some teams are ranked, particularly Oklahoma. The SEC is also looking to move toward a 9-game schedule, and Arkansas is fine with field rushing if you wait 3 minutes, which I find fascinating. I'm going to get to each one of those topics, but let's start with Oklahoma. I have Oklahoma ranked at number 10 in my preseason Ultimate 136. And I have reasons as to why. If you are looking at my 136, you'll also see I got Texas at number 1 and Ohio State at number 2. And I disagree with the Associated Press in moving Ohio State to number 3. Seems wild to me. Number 2 is okay because, well, it's a placeholder. If they beat Texas, they will be the number 1 team. If they lose to Texas, I don't see them dropping much farther, but we'll see, as I'll do a top 25 coming out of Labor Day weekend with week 0 on the horizon. And I did picks for that week, and go check those out. I also still am going to beat the drum about why the hell are we ranking Penn State this high? I got them at number 7. Penn State is at number 2 in the Associated Press poll and number 3 in the coaches poll. The Associated Press poll is the one that we refer to most often when we're not talking about mine. But the reason I don't want to do this is that Penn State has not shown me that they are a top 5 program. They are 1-15 against top 5 programs in the James Franklin era, and they're 0-7 against Michigan and Ohio State, which means that you can't beat the teams that have won the conference championship in the Big Ten in each of the last 5 years, save last year, right? So we're talking about until Oregon joined up in the conference, it's Ohio State or Michigan or nobody. And one of the reasons that it's been Ohio State or Michigan or nobody is because it's never been Penn State, who can't seem to do what they need to get past them. We could argue about where you want to put Georgia, Clemson, and Notre Dame, but I think most of us agree that those are top 5, 6, 7 teams. Cade Klubnik is a Heisman favorite, and for good reason. His numbers last year were similar to Baker Mayfield's when he was up for the Heisman Trophy. You also know that Notre Dame is going to be built around Jeremiah Love, who is the single best tailback in all of college football. But they got a new guy at quarterback in C.J. Carr, who might give way to Kenny Minchey. We'll see. Carr's ball security apparently is the one thing to watch as they prepare to take on a Miami team that knows exactly who they are, with Carson Beck at quarterback and Shannon Dawson run the offense. They ought to be good. Are they going to be a top 10 team? We'll see by the year's end. I think this is going to come down to Mario Cristobal and what he does with his game management, clock management, and whether or not he can use his timeouts effectively, which sucks because that should be the first thing that a head coach is capable of doing, right? Is managing the game for his team. Then we had Alabama and LSU in there. And then I understand that Oklahoma's out of the coaches poll, top 25. They put BYU in there, which I found ludicrous. And I guess that's what we're talking about, right? I have BYU at number 60 in my 136, to which BYU fans are incensed. And I asked them, did you know that Jake Retzloff does not play quarterback at BYU anymore? I wonder if you know that, because without him, you don't win 11 games last year. You lost 2,900 yards and 20 TDs into not even the transfer portal. That dude just withdrew from school and ended up at Tulane. Now, one of the reasons to dismiss him would have been the man caught a rape charge and was being sued in civil court. Now, later got dismissed. But if the honor code is that big a deal, you just dismiss the guy, as opposed to, we're going to give you a 7-game suspension, which was what many people thought would happen if he chose to stay at BYU. But seeing as the case was dismissed, he still did break the honor code, which somehow still has in it that BYU students cannot have premarital sex without punishment. Okay, you signed the honor code, and if you are not a member of the church, I still got real questions about why you choose to go to BYU, or it's like if you're not Catholic and you go to Notre Dame, I would ask you the same questions. But that is neither here nor there when we talk about football. The football means that dude's not there. So LJ Martin's back. That's great for you. Chase Roberts is back. That's great for you. Your starting quarterback is a true freshman now. The first ever true freshman to start at quarterback for BYU, Bear Bachmeier. Now, Hank Bachmeier was okay to decent. He was not great. Could Bear Bachmeier be great? Sure. But I need him to show it. And anytime you got a quarterback that's wearing one of these odd digits on his jersey, I got real questions. You saw what happened to Devin Brown for wearing 33 at Ohio State. Now he's losing his job to a true freshman at Cal. You want me to throw my weight behind you as a top 25 program without a quarterback? And then after my top 25, 136 came out, you named number 47. The dude that transferred in the spring because Stanford coach Troy Taylor got fired, your starting quarterback. Your defense better be great, because that was also important. If you want to talk to me about why BYU needs to be a top 40 program, maybe you want to point to how good they were in Big 12 in defense. But don't talk to me about whether or not it's a top 25 program, because that's what you saw in the coaches poll, because coaches poll ain't paying attention to the offseason like the rest of us, which is, frankly, the reason I don't think coaches should be voting. My job is to pay attention to these things year round. My job is to know who's on your team and what they're capable of. This is why I took a Scott Hansen throwaway line about you not being able to name 30 college football quarterbacks, and I named 31 off the top of my head. Check out the short. This is who I am. This is what I do. I know there are a lot of people that somehow believe, stupid reasons I can only imagine, that I don't know ball or I don't care about this sport. But if I'm willing to stand on the table and tell you, wait for Bear Bachmeier to show me something, number 60 BYU, it's because I know something. Now, do I know something about Oklahoma? You're damn right I know something about Oklahoma. And all the people that were talking well about Oklahoma going into the season who did not rank them in their top 25 are the folks' cards you should be pulling. You know, I'm out here and I'm listening to people tell me what other national commentators have had to say about Oklahoma, and they want to know why I ain't saying it. I know what I believe, and I know why I believe it, and I showed it here in my top 25. Meanwhile, everybody has something nice to say. Oklahoma fans want to go to that person and go, damn, I remember when RJ was on our team. Ask Ohio State fans who I root for. Ask Texas fans who I root for. It be your own people sometimes is a line that we throw away, but it's family, right? They going to do their thing. I'm going to do my thing. We're still going to be family come Saturday. That said, I have Oklahoma at 10 because definitively and without any bias, you can see they have a top 10 team. Okay. So the offensive line, which was brand spanking new last year because the injuries that happened to it mandated such a thing, is experienced now. So now you got an experienced offensive line. You're not likely to be the worst offense that you have been in 24 years this year like you were last. Last year, Oklahoma was good enough for a paltry 331 yards of total offense and 24 points. Hell, it wasn't that long ago that Oklahoma's passing game averaged 331 yards and its passing offense averaged 24 points per game. Oklahoma was used to putting up 500 yards and 40 points regularly. Didn't matter if you had a number next to your name or not. They were coming for your head. And the reason they could do that, they had an outstanding offensive line. They were great at quarterback and they were great at tailback. Guess what, guys? Oklahoma has a 3,000-yard passer at quarterback in John Mateer and a 1,300-yard rusher in Jaydn when he's last healthy. The last time that Oklahoma had a 1,000-yard tailback and a 3,000-yard passer, they won 12 games. They won a conference championship. They end up in the college football playoff. Now, quarterback's Kyler Murray, running back's Kennedy Brooks. But you didn't know that, did you? Or that Kyler Murray satisfies both of those things. 4,000-yard passer, 1,000-yard rusher. He won the Heisman. Oh, yeah, because that's what Oklahoma quarterbacks do when they're 3,000, 1,000 guys. And that is what you can expect John Mateer to be trying to achieve in the SEC. Deion Burks is healthy. You got your deep threat. Okay? Give me Javonte Barnes not putting the ball on the floor. Stick him on Taylor Tatum's hands. I swear for the Lord, that boy put the ball on the floor one more time, I'm going to lose my mind. Do not hand it to stone hands. We're playing SEC football now, which is what everybody in Oklahoma wanted, even though I'm going, winning 12 games in Big 12, not that bad, guys. No. We play big boy football now, right? Right? Or do people remember that Oklahoma went 6-7 in the Big 12 and in the SEC? Maybe it's got nothing to do with the Big 12. Maybe it's got nothing to do with the SEC. Maybe we're a Morgan Wallen song. I'm the problem. Hello? Now, Brent Venables has gone about trying to fix it. Fired the offense coordinator, hired Ben Arbuckle. Bill Beatonbow, one of the best offensive lines in football, says he reminds me of a young Lincoln Riley. Well, hell, we could do with a young Lincoln Riley at coordinator right now. Mateer's got juice. Just don't make no more jokes on Vimbo about gambling. Jaydn not feeling it. He's around a bunch of guys that love football and need to win because that's what we do in Oklahoma, unlike Berkeley, California. And if you're reading tone there, it's because you should. Golden Bears. We're Sooners out here. Land thieves, homie. You know what I'm saying? It's hot. It's humid. It's soupy out here. It's 100 degrees outside and 47% humidity. But I be on a bike doing 17, 18, 19, 20 miles an hour for 2 hours because we built like that around here. Now, again, I'm going to remind you, Oklahoma has Brent Venables calling the defense. Do you know who's one of the 3 best defensive coordinators of the 21st century? Kirby Smart, and Brent Venables. I say Kirby Smart twice because, well, that's Kirby's defense at Georgia, and that was Kirby's defense at Alabama. I need Brent's defense at Clemson to show up at Oklahoma. That was the reason that everybody was so excited for him to come on home. He'd been beating that ass as Clemson's defensive coordinator. Damn. It was real nice when we had that guy. Now we got that guy. We got a version of that guy. I need that guy to show back up, and I think he will. His back's against the wall like everybody else's. Now he's got edge rushers, right? Grayson, R. Mason. It's time to do the dirty. It's time to get busy. Be kipping. Take that ball out of their hands. Kobe, go kill somebody. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean that like literally. Don't go kill nobody. But, hit them hard, wrap them up, put them on the ground. Let the teammates go pick him up. Let their paramedics over there, their trainers, go pick him back up. You get back to the huddle. And you do it all over again. The Bowen brothers. Hit somebody. Take some footballs away. Be healthy. Now, RJ, aside from all of that, have you seen the damn schedule? Yes, I've seen the damn schedule. But for those of you that ain't, we got Oklahoma facing number 14 Michigan at home, number 1 Texas, Red River rivalry, number 13 South Carolina on the road, number 21 Ole Miss, number 24 Tennessee at Neyland, number 8 Alabama in Tuscaloosa, and then number 9 LSU gets to come on down to Norman. It ain't an easy schedule. It's an SEC schedule. Hello. We'll beat the hell out of Illinois State, and then gonna come on with the come on. Now, what I believe that people continue to forget is it ain't easy to come down here to Norman and get a win, dog. I know that some of y'all think that's what it is because of 2 losing seasons for the first time 25 years. All right, cool, bet. But like I tell anybody who sees me and says, RJ, you fit, but you're skinny. You're welcome to try me. So far, ain't nobody willing to do that. You're welcome to try me. This is Oklahoma. You're welcome to try us. We'll be here all day. We do not turn our backs to a challenge. We answer every bell. And like I tell all the players that take up the privilege of wearing an Oklahoma jersey, it says Oklahoma on the front, across your chest, where your heart go, where your lungs are. That's my name. That's my name. I'm lending it to you. That jersey's clean. That jersey's got over 100 years of blood, sweat, and tears in it, but it's clean. That name on the back, that's yours. That's a privilege. You get to attach your name to mine. You get to be the crown jewel of 4 million people. 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 4 million people If it sounds like tremendous pressure on your shoulder, if it sounds like a burden, that's because it is. And I don't give a damn that it's heavy to you. It should be. But that's my name on your chest. And I expect you to give it back to me in the way I gave it to you. We come back. Let's talk about Arkansas. I love me some Arkansas, but I think that this rule that they're about to put in is kind of ludicrous and stupid. But you know what? Fine. Whatever you got to do. Back on Adapt and Respond with me, RJ Young. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer the question in the comments below. Do you think this new field rush strategy from Arkansas is going to work? Because I don't, man. I applaud Arkansas for trying to think of one way or another to do this and not get fined. But if you're going to rush the field, it feels like you're going to get fined. And it feels like it's going to be lots of fining going around the SEC in 2025. I'm going to say that we're going to see some money exchanging upwards of $2 million, given what the fines have risen to in the escalation elevation. And more importantly, I'm a fan of this team. Okay? Let's assume I paid $300-$400 for good seats to get to this game to watch Arkansas play Notre Dame, which is the thing that's going to happen September 29th. They're going to play the national title runner-up. They're probably going to be underdogs in that game. If they win it, Arkansas fans, Razorback fans will rush the field. Do you know how I know this? Because that's what I'm paying to do. I'm paying to see a win. I'm paying to be a part of history. I'll take some of this grass with me. I'll take end zone pylon with me. And that goalpost, oh no, it's coming down. It's coming down. And we might not put it down till we get to Little Rock. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? Okay? But most importantly, it ain't my money. You know what I'm saying? I've already given you all of my money. I paid for an education to go to the University of Arkansas. I'm an Arkansas alumnus. Hello? And even then, I might be the parent of a future Arkansas alumnus. You know how much money I'm forking over? You can use some of that money to go pay this fine. I don't give a damn about none of your fines. I think it's a stupid, stupid rule. I think there are other ways to try to police this, but that ain't my gig. I'm not interested in stopping people storming the field any more than I'm interested in trying to make you feel better about a 19-year-old getting paid 7 figures to play for college football. People are going to do what they do. I don't argue strategy. I just want to know what you're doing so I know how I'm going to adapt to what you're doing, okay? I will spot the market inefficiency and I will exploit it. Now, what I think is interesting here is that Arkansas put this out thinking it's going to work. So for those of y'all that live underneath that particular rock, Southeastern Conference updated its field rushing policy with $500,000 in fines to each incident across sports. So if you court storm, it's $500,000. If you field storm, it's $500,000. I would love to see what happens if somebody like field stormed a women's soccer game or at or track and field, right? At McDonald. By the way, Arkansas's got a fantastic track and field facility if you ever get to go down there. Love racing indoor there. It was so much fun. So Wednesday, Arkansas announced they are asking fans to wait 3 minutes before storming the field. 3 minutes after clock strike zero, or after they stop playing football, you start to see coaches coming across the field to shake hands. No. 3 minutes? All right, okay. Let me get through the rest of this for 3 minutes. Man, that's the length of one round of a heavyweight bout, dog. We got UFC rounds that last longer than that. We fighting for belts. All right, the safety of our student athletes and the student athletes from the visiting institution is extremely important to us. This is Arkansas Athletic Director Hunter Yurachek. By implementing the new policy, we are allowing the visiting team to clear the field so our fans can safely join our team on the field, celebrate the big win. We look forward to our fans, students, and students complying with the policy for the first time we get to implement it when we get to enjoy a huge win. Arkansas beat Tennessee, which is a top 5 program last year. They stormed the field. Okay. Vanderbilt beat number 1 Alabama First time ever they stormed the field. It's going to happen. Ole Miss beats Georgia, storm the field. It's going to happen. SEC is too good for it not to happen. It's going to happen. Okay? But you know what else is going to happen? Some child, some adolescent is going to think about Stephon Diggs standing in the back of a friggin' end zone watching other people celebrate, trying to pose for an iconic photo of woe is me, look at me, enjoying them in the loss and thinking, you know what, I'm going to come back and be strong from this. But you aren't really thinking about this because the 3 minutes is going to come and go, and that dude's still going to be there, going to get ran over. Going to get somebody running up in his face with trying to take a selfie, trying to talk noise, trying to put him on IG Live or something. And if I am the opposing team, and I know this is Arkansas's policy, everybody stay right the hell where you are for 4 minutes. No, 3 minutes and 1 second. Right where you are. I'm going to be petty as hell about this. No. I don't need to be sportsmanlike if you going to tell other people to wait to storm the field. We don't even get to say that that's authentic anymore. We don't get to even say that, hey, yo, fans is being fans. No, if you have the discipline to sit and wait for 3 minutes, 100,000 deep, all we're doing is trolling you. And we're probably not doing it silently. We're probably going left, right, sit down. Because that's who we are. We going to treat it like you fouled out. That's what we going out. We going to be like, see, this is what happens when you put in your hands where they ain't supposed to go. Call foul. Okay? This is what happens when you come in here with a big number attached, to a small number attached to your big name, and then you get taken down. This is what happens when Loudon Swain comes out of the locker room from doing drills and jumping rope and saying, I want shoot. By the way, that's the name of my bicycle. It's blue and yellow. I call it shoot. Because as much as I love Loudon Swain, the image in my brain, the person that I am, has a log on his back doing stadium steps, hoping you make the weight. Damn, I love that. I'm going to be the person absolutely pointing at everybody else on that sideline at home field going, you got to wait 3 minutes. I'm not moving. You got to wait 3 minutes, but that's 3 minutes, I don't have to move. After 3 minutes, you come down here, I'm still here, fine, whatever. But I'm going to be pointing at each one of you because I'm not going to take this well. You don't take losing well. You don't take getting stormed on the field well. Not if you're a competitor. Now, there are classy ways to do this, to note your disdain. You can be short. You don't have to be jovial about it. You don't have to be as gracious as some. You can be quiet. But you ain't got to do it with some smile on your face. I think it's kind of ridiculous that they're asking fans to wait 3 minutes. And I don't think it's going to work. But you know what? If it costs $500,000 fine, call Mr. Tyson Chicken, tell him to write a check because you just beat Notre Dame and call it good. Come back. Let's talk about the SEC. Finally, joining the Big 12 and the Big 10 with this monumental shift that might happen. Back on Adapt and Respond with me, RJ Young. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We're close to 138,000 subscribers. And if you're listening on the podcast, thanks so much for doing that. We are trying to do this 2-3 times a week. We're doing live shows. It's going to be post-game stuff that we're doing. It's really starting to get off and popping here. And we're starting to see some real change come for us, like the SEC is seeing real change probably come for it. So the news is, based on reports from Yahoo Sports and ESPN, the SEC is moving closer to a 9-game regular season schedule, which would mean that they join the Big 10 and the Big 12 in having 9 regular season games. The reason that this is important is You're introducing at least one more loss, we think, across the board for the SEC. And you're not able to pad your resume or your schedule with other FCS opponents that don't mean anything, even as you get to 10 or 11 or 9 wins. Okay. The Big 10 and the Big 12 have been hurting each other by playing a 9-game schedule, so they say. And there's something to that, right? Because if you can schedule in one more Tennessee, Chattanooga, or Mercer rather than have to play even Purdue, it's meaningful for you, right? The same thing is true of having to play Mississippi State as opposed to North Alabama. It's meaningful to you. It means that you get to go into the college football playoff knowing that the criteria, at least presently, is going to help you. Now, why would the SEC want to do this? To try to make it easier for people to adopt their new model for the 16-team playoff. Now, the 5+7 model for the new college football playoff is fraught, right? But the 5+11 model also means that you're going to get, I think, the appropriate number of teams from all over to get in, as opposed to the 4+4+2+2+1 plan. Keep forgetting, there's so many numbers here, but it essentially goes from, we want to have 4 automatic qualifiers in the SEC and the Big 10 to, just perhaps maybe 1. And I don't think anybody wants automatic qualifiers in college football, save the conferences, but the conferences want it because they want to win back a share of the money that they're being forked over by ESPN. So remember, ESPN signs a deal worth $7.6 billion to air the college football playoff only. Okay. They're not going to pay more money to air more games inside of that deal. However, ESPN has said it is willing to pay the SEC for a 9th regular season game, which means more money for the SEC and nobody else. And this is why this decision is before the SEC's presidents, who will finally get to make a call on this. I, like you, want to see everybody play a 9-game schedule. I think it's fair, and I think it makes it easier to follow the game as we get closer to picking teams for the college football playoff December 7th. That said, the SEC understands its advantage is in waiting as long as it possibly can to add that 9th game. And it won't add that 9th game without some insurances as to how many teams it's going to get in. And I think this is them going, okay, we're willing to do this, and we're willing to continue to kick this in the direction of finally adapting it. But we are not willing to do this unless we have some assurances that we are going to get the appropriate number of teams as we see it into the playoff. We're also entering a season where the SEC has its back against the wall. Remember, it's not just that it hasn't won a national championship the last 2 times. It's that it hasn't had a team feature in the national championship game. Wasn't that long ago. As a matter of fact, it was 2021 when we saw Georgia and Alabama play for the national championship, 2 SEC teams, not unlike the 2018 national championship game. LSU won the 2019 national championship. Alabama beat Ohio State for the 2020 national championship. Georgia beat Texas Christian 2022 national championship. And then all of a sudden, we get Michigan to enter the fray in a very real way. Same thing with Washington. Last year, it was Ohio State and Notre Dame. This year, most people believe the Big 10 is going to get at least one team in there, and many people believe that Texas is the best team in the SEC. We'll see if that plays out. We'll see how that goes. It's why we play football. It's why we look at the scoreboard. I think if the SEC doesn't get another team in this thing, they probably won't move to an 8-game schedule. If they don't get another team in the national championship this year. I think they want to know that if you've got 16 spots, that 4 of them, a quarter of them are going to go to them. And the Big 10 is not going to let that happen without them also getting 4, while the rest of college football quite literally has to look, wait, and go, really? Because we're talking about 16 teams in the SEC, 18 teams in the Big 10 for a total of 34 teams. There are 136 in FBS, which means that we're thinking about 102 teams that are looking at the SEC and Big 10 going, do you guys even want us to play in this thing? And the answer is most fans want to know that you're there, but they don't want you to really be there. They want you to be there like SMU was there, like Boise State was there. They don't want you there at the end. You don't want to watch Boise State and Southern Methodist play for the national championship. You want to watch Ohio State and Notre Dame. The SEC and the Big 10 also know this, but they're saying the quiet part out loud, and it's getting under people's skin. The one thing you can't do is make people feel bad about the thing they want. You have to make them feel good about the thing they want. and you have to make it somebody else's fault. The SEC and the Big Ten are losing this marketing and advertising war because they're making it your fault. They're not telling you what you need to hear to get this done. Now, I know what that is, and I know how to do it. But this, I think, is manipulating you in a way that is ridiculous. You're smart. You're empathetic. You love the sport. And it ain't up to me to tell you what to think. It is up to me to give you my opinion of what I think, and then you take it where you need to take it. But let's not be coy about this. The SEC is always going to be working in its best interest first. Game theory. Do what's best for yourself and the group. If you like the show, subscribe. Deuces.